Yep.
So Forza Horizon 5 released early for those who wanted to pay the premium price. For everyone else in the cheap seats like us, it's going to be on Tuesday next week. So racing aficionado Mike got early access to Playground Games' latest entry in their latest flagship series, Forza Horizon 5. Is it the best one yet? Dot dot dot.
Yes, it
Mike.
is. End of segment.
All right, good.
Nice to see you,
Let's
boys.
let's go to the wrap up. Let's go to the outro.
Okay. So all jokes aside, well, yes, it absolutely is. I'll keep it short as per your request. So I got early access to it by paying 60 something shmulahs in order to get the premium content pack. Reason being, I thought to myself, you know what, this game is technically free. I know I'm going to play it a ton of hours. I'm happy to actually pay for it. For 60 bucks, you get all the car packs, all that jazz, all the added content. Fantastic. So I did, and then, I got to play it early. It's hard to judge exactly how far I'm into it because it's not like a story-based game or anything, but I think I'm actually quite far into it. So, for example, I've
Oh,
discovered something like 380 out of the 560 roads or whatever it is. So, in terms of, the map that I've done, I've well and truly probably traversed 75% of the roads, if
wow.
that is anything to go by. And that wasn't intentionally going out and trying to find all the roads because, yes, I will do that eventually. Couple of things I'll say. So from a sound and visuals perspective, as others online have said, amazing looking game. I played it on the Xbox Series X. I might give it a crack on PC as well once I set up my new graphics card. The one thing that I don't quite get is why they bother to include a quality mode on the Xbox version of it. Quality mode caps you to 30, performance leaves you open to 60. It is a game that is absolutely way better at 60 frames per second. Personally, I don't know why the hell you'd want to play it at 30. And visually, it actually isn't a downgrade or anything. Yes, there's less foliage and stuff like that, but you'd be hard pressed unless you saw it frame by frame to really notice the difference between the two
Just
while
on
playing it.
that, so like it's not my view, but I did watch a bit of the Digital Foundry coverage of it,
Mhm.
and they actually recommend playing it on quality mode. And so there's a whole stuff
Hell
around
no.
why one over the other.
I would never. I've tried both.
Okay.
I actually tried both. And I actually tried quality first because I know how jarring it is to go from 60 back to 30,
I
and I
thought it's
would
more
completely
cinematic.
disagree. Oh, yeah, very funny. If it was a 24, then maybe. So I completely fundamentally disagree with that. I mean,
Okay.
look, each to their own. Try it in both.
What do
It's
they
just
know?
personally the downgrade is seriously. I watch side by side stuff of the
Hmm.
two. There's some really good YouTube clips that show it side by side, and yes, you can tell the difference, but it's so minute in so many ways that it's not worth degrading
To,
your racing experience
to
going at
be
30.
to be fair, they weren't like super adamant either way on it.
Yeah.
So it's not like they were basically saying that the game still obviously looks great in the performance mode, but it's obviously when we're talking about those, like, I forget what they talk about, but that special like texturing thing they're doing, like the procedural texturing or whatever.
And like ray
There's
tracing
just
and stuff.
no, so
Of
ray trace.
photogrammetry.
Yeah, photogram. Like basically, there's more layers of that in the
Yeah,
quality
yeah.
mode. But ray tracing, I believe, is only in photo mode and in the showcase area. There's no ray tracing in the main
Yeah,
Yeah,
game.
that's right.
So
but
yeah,
here's my issue. Yes, of course, visually it's going to look better, but you don't stop. It's a racing game. It's not a game where it's all about looking at every single tiny detail. Everything zooms past you. It's so freaking fast that you can't see those details anyway. To the extent that if you want to take photos and you want to, take in the sights and sounds, you can switch it to that just to go exploring briefly and look at the quality of the stuff. But playing the game, I can't possibly see why anyone would want to play it at 30 over 60. It's
Mm.
just not. It's almost like, why did they even have the option there for that kind of
well,
stuff? They should
you
have kept it just for photos.
should check that video out then.
Yeah.
Will do. And I
Well,
love those guys, by the way. I think they do amazing stuff. So I'm not dissing their thoughts on it.
so like Swinny, you're playing it next week, yeah?
I'll give it a shot. The
Yeah.
thing for me though is that I still really wanted to delve further into number 4,
Mm.
and that's still a great looking game. Obviously not
Oh
on
yeah.
this level, but I will for the show. But I probably won't put a lot of time into it because I still feel like I was only a couple of hours in number 4, and I've got an English background, so it's like that's why I really want to play through that one properly because it's
Yep.
set in England, So
Look, honestly, from an overall experience perspective, it refines everything, but to me personally, I don't find it adds anything that much new, if that makes sense, to make number four inferior in many ways. It's not. I could go back to number four, and other than graphically, it's not going to be quite as great. It's got all of the stuff that I want out of it. So you'll enjoy four, maybe even more than five, to be honest, just because of the setting that you have more affinity towards.
We'll cover it next week. Like
yeah,
we'll
we'll
have a go.
we'll do a
I'm
proper
similar
thing.
boat to you, Swinny. I probably won't put massive hours in. Of starting a new role as well next week. So, but yeah, I definitely want to check it out. And I haven't actually played any of the Forza Horizon games, so it'll be my first. So it'll be
that's
interesting to
good.
see how I take it.
Yeah, like I think like I've played most of them, so it's I think for someone it'll be interesting to get a fresh take for jumping in a five.
Yeah, and I really don't know almost anything about it apart from it's a
Excellent.
open world game. I'm like,
It's a car RPG.
yeah.
It's a
No,
car
don't
RPG.
say any more because I don't really know anything else, and it doesn't look like Swinny agrees. Let's have that debate next week.
No, it totally is a car RPG. But
All
anyway,
right,
we'll debate it next week. I will
Okay.
wrap it up. I'll save everything, I think, unless you guys want more
No,
first-hand
no.
impressions.
No,
Till we all talk about it properly,
Yeah,
because
let's-
there's quite a few thoughts that I have on the game, both good and bad.
Yeah, I think like let's save it for next week when we'll do a full on review of it.